Hello and welcome to Reality Unlimited podcast with Rish. I'm your host and manifestation coach. You must be wondering why am I here with a Christmas hat, but this is a prop for this week's topic to dive deeper into authenticity. And therefore, I thought, why not be authentic to myself and see what feels authentic to me in this very moment. And this cap is what I got in this magical land of Peru, and it's made by a local family. So I love wearing it, and I thought, why not wear this instead of hat or nothing. So here it is. This will remind you of authenticity in this whole episode while you're watching me, while you're listening to me on audio. You'll know that I'm wearing this very funky cap that represents my authentic truth in this very moment. And that's what I'm going to invite you as well. Before we begin with this podcast, I would love to invite you to pause and go and subscribe to Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts, whichever channel you prefer, so that you do not miss any episode. Because from now onwards, it's just going to get more and more interesting. So go and subscribe to the channel and share with your people and come back to listen back to this. I've already spoken about authenticity in the previous episodes, and this week it's been present for me even at a deeper level. So I wanted to share that transmission and that lesson with you so that you get to understand it at a deeper level. You get to apply it in your life more effectively. So there are these voices in our head that keep on guiding our actions and thus our destiny on what we should do in every moment. They are the voices that are coming from the past versions of us that are telling us that this is the right behavior and this is the wrong behavior. The same voices that are putting us in the boxes and holding us from our highest expression. And therefore, it makes it even more important if we want to live an effortless life of our dreams and have effortless manifestations, to be more conscious and working on our consciousness to listen to those voices and then be able to discern whether you want to give them the energy, the boxes of the past, or your current voice that is coming from your higher self, that is coming from your spirit and guiding you towards your highest destiny. And that's where this work of embodied manifestation comes in. So I'll start with my story of what really started my learning about authenticity this week. I am in Peru right now in Sacred Valley and going through very deep processes in my journey. I'm learning music, sound healing. I'm having plant medicine journeys and getting to learn a lot from those teachers, which are plants, and also through the experience I'm getting to have. For example, I would go in the Kirtans and have cacao and have, sacred moments where I am opening up my voice, dancing, expressing fully. And it is so normal for me to live this life, for the present version of me, because that's my path. I am a manifestation coach. This is the work I dive in so that then I can guide others to embody their truth and have an effortless life of their dreams while manifesting their true desires. So this week when I went to one of the Kirtans, I was tagged on Instagram by one of the friends, and when I went back home after the Kirtan, I saw that tag and I was about to post it. Then there was this voice that came from within me. It's like, is it okay to post it? Is it matching your brand? How about you skip it? I don't know if I should post it, and so forth. All these voices. And there, in that moment, I could stop and see how this old, very old voice is holding me on from expressing my truth. Like something that's so normal in my current life and in my whole being, I would love to post it. But then there's this voice of judgment from the past. So I then had a process around that, and eventually I posted it because I wanted to get over this part. I wanted to dissolve this part after understanding it and then take an action consciously. So not only did I repost that story, I also created a post on my Instagram and Facebook about this whole process so that others can learn through this and be inspired to be their most authentic self. So I had this whole process and I got to learn through it. And I want to share with you where this voice is coming from. So I grew up in India, in New Delhi. And even though it may seem like it's very spiritual from the outside, and it is, there is an aspect of the country which repels people from spirituality or religion because of how it's misused. So even though I didn't go deeper into the reason of why it's coming, because that's not very important, I can simply release it without understanding it logically. But now when I'm sharing with you, that's most probably the voice of the past people in my life which would judge me, my friends or family or whoever, people around, for going in Kirtan. They're like, oh, you went to Kirtan, or you're going to Kirtan, oh, you become too spiritual. And I still meet a lot of people who are inspired, at the same time would be like, oh, you become too spiritual. And I just laugh at it, but also see like how there's this little voice inside me from the past, which is still nudging, like, are you being too spiritual? Are you being too much this? Are you being too much that? And that voice, although is very little, but still, I would love to dissolve all those voices so that my expression can flow thoroughly and effortlessly. I'm not double guessing every move because those voices are not at all present in my current reality. And here's the paradox: even though I guide people on the journey of being their most authentic self, I still have that voice because this journey has so many layers to it. Like, even though I've done so much work, now still that voice comes up. It doesn't mean I cannot inspire others, I cannot motivate others, I cannot guide others on their journey, because you just need to be a step ahead of the person to give them your codes, to give them your gifts so that they can remember who they are as well. So that's a reminder for you too. If you're feeling you don't deserve to share your gifts with the other, you get to do that, because that is also part of the authenticity. That is also part of you becoming your most authentic self and acknowledging where you are and realizing the beauty in it. So when I share this process, I also see there are so many voices in different aspects of life that we listen from all the people around us growing up, and they get stuck in our head as anchors which hold us in the past reality. And therefore, the work of embodied manifestation and the work of life is to focus on your path, which automatically will lead you to have higher consciousness, to be able to see things clearly from a higher perspective. So then you have clarity of what is from the past, what is in the now, and choose accordingly. Create your destiny from there. And why I like to focus on authenticity is because it is one way to see it, that it's good to be authentic. But when you realize that we are living in an energy world, a world of frequency, and everything is energy, frequency, and vibrations, authenticity is the highest vibration, and that is your truth. Therefore, when you are aligned to your truth by doing these practices, you will see miracles start to show up effortlessly. Abundance start to show up effortlessly. Your goals start to come towards you effortlessly. Opportunities start to show up miraculously. So authenticity is equal to your alignment, which is equal to effortless manifestation. Always remember that. And since the universe always matches your real frequency, your truth will attract your truth. Your conditioning of the past will attract the similar life of density, of suffering, of scarcity, or whatever it looked like. Because probably your future is going to be much more promising than your past. Because that's what we aspire to be, and that's our software as humans, as energetic beings, to evolve with time. So if you are like everyone else, you don't want to carry the baggage of the past, and therefore it's very important to see those boxes and see how they are guiding your life and your actions and your behavior with other people and in your day-to-day life. Because once you start doing that, you'll have so much clarity that everything will start to make sense. And like I said, manifestation starts to become effortless through this process. And unless you want to continue living your childhood and want to bring heaven on earth, your higher self on earth, you will want to do this process. You will want to release the conditioning of the past. You will want to embody the authenticity that lies within you and is waiting for you to embody it, because your authenticity is actually your higher self asking you to make space for more light so that it can come down in this body, in this portal, so that your expression can become more divine and magical. With that remembrance and reminder, I invite you to start looking deeper into your actions, into your day-to-day behavior, and wherever there is friction while you are within yourself, or you are interacting with someone else, whenever there's friction in making decisions, see what are those voices. Maybe journal on it. And as you journal on it, automatically you'll know which is the voice that is truly exciting for you. And that voice is generally the voice of the present now. And which voice is holding you on from your highest expression and putting you in boxes. That voice is from the past. Write them down and find out a way to release the voice of the past. It may not be easiest thing to do at first, but the moment you start noticing their voices, you will start going to the next steps of bringing in the power to then choose the right voice, to then take the right decisions that's best for your future. And finally, remember, It is safe to be you. Once you remember that, that's where your true embodied manifestation begins. The manifestation of your dreams. With that message, I close this episode, and I wish you all the best in this process of becoming more and more authentic version of yourselves who's living extraordinary life each passing moment. I hope this episode gave you what you needed. Please feel free to share with me your experiences on my Instagram. I am Rish Gupta, and I would love to hear what stood out for you, what resonated for you, and what started within you in your process. And you can always tag me if there's some revelation or some insights that you want to share. And I would love to see all of them. Wishing you a beautiful week ahead, and see you next week for another powerful podcast episode. Take care and much love.